Hello everyone, we're going to do some lovely acrylic painting today. I've set this up so that I'm looking just above at the setup, and I've got this image here for you to look at. You will get a copy of this. It's in a square format this time because I think that looks really interesting. What I've done is I've taped down the acrylic paper. It's taped on all sides and it's been washed over with some very dilute acrylic, which is sort of the colour of builder's tea. It's kind of, yeah, like that. You can probably see that colour quite well. And it's just to give the tone, some tone to the paper. I've let that dry. I've also primed a couple of canvases like this because I might have a little go at doing it on canvas as well. So what we're going to do is sketch it out. Because you've got like this lovely edges of the paper as a frame, you want to use most of the frame and actually bring things to the edge of it. So I'm using a 2B pencil, which is my favourite, to sketch it out. So you've got this part, which is kind of like a wholly kind of felt jersey material. It's got little squares on it, and I thought it was really nice because it breaks up the colour at the top. So I'm going to basically have a look at that. It's just under halfway across with a pale pink background. So probably around there is where the fabric is. And then I'm just going to put the lip of the pot in because that's the tallest thing there. I'm actually quite a lot higher up than this photograph was taken. So for these purposes, I'm just going to use the image that I've got in front of me, and because it'll be the same as what you've got, rather than drawing the ellipse any deeper than that. But I can actually see the jug a bit better than this. So I'm just going to use this and look at the negative space around the top. It's like an L shape going round to the handle. So we're just going to sketch that out. And what we're going to use is we're going to use this measurement here, which is the handle of the jug. Just trying to not to reach across the handle of the jug here, and use that to measure. So you've got one of those, and you've got 1, 2 and a bit of those fit into the sides of this jug, and then you can use that measurement again. I thought it was about the same as the sort of mustard pot that I've got some flowers in, and then again to the top of the leaf. So let's use that measurement and see how many times that is replicated around the image, just to sketch out and get everything roughly into place. Here we go. So we've got this one. Let's decide, once you've decided on that, the size of this, then that will give you everything else. So you're using that as your proportion. So everything has got to jump to their tune of this handle. So I'm just going to put that in. And then I'm just going to see, it was 2.5 of those. So let's have a look at where that comes. That comes to the top of the flower. So that one, the flower's about that far from in the middle of where the jug handle goes. So let's just pop that in there. It comes over the handle a little bit there. So we're just loosely putting that in. And it gives you the scale of it a little bit as well. So the top of that flower is the bottom of the jug. So we've got it there. Let's make that curve because it's quite a rounded curve, the bottom of the jug. Pop that in. And then the lip, you can't see very well on there. It's quite dark. So it sort of almost comes straight from the edge of that lip and it's straight down. Okay, so that's the jug in. You've got this little flower coming across. Let's bring that across. There is a little bit of a gap there. You're just navigating across. And then this one here, there's quite a lot of this navy area coming across here. So we're going to bring that leaf across to here. And we're going to have to make that quite big because the pot is very close to us actually. The pot is probably one of the biggest things, even though it's only a little mustard pot. Curving around, just sketching that rose there. Let's just check it was up to the jug handle, which gives you that edge of that rose. and the way it curls up above that. Okay, so, and that almost comes halfway down the little mustard pot, so that rose is going to be quite big, the yellow one. Let's navigate up here. So we've got, let's have a look for the jug handle above there. From that very sort of edge of that rose is all the way up is another whole jug handle. Let's pop that in. So that is, look at the proportion, the negative space, and pop that leaf in. We can see we're navigating around the drawing here. And then you've got the rose coming out to here. So there's not, again, we can, I think we probably accentuate that, make it a bit bigger and a bit more blousy, that big pink rose. And then the shadow comes off from the edge of that. So that's where you want to kind of get the lightest tone of that navy when we're putting the tone in. I'm going to almost block that in to sketch out where the tone is going to go. So the super dark bit, when you squint, is going to be in here. So let's look at that negative shape there. There are lots of flower leaves coming up here, so we can probably put those in quite an abstract way. I don't really want to spend too much time drawing painting very realistic leaves. I think we can use them, and those flashes of bright green against the olive green are going to look really nice. And also we can use a sort of stipply effect for this chevron of pattern. It's quite an old, I think, is it Denby ware? It's a 1970s one. My mum's got it, and I actually bought this in a charity shop. I think it's a really lovely texture. Okay, so we've got our blue coming down there. I'm not going to do too much with the blue, it's just going to be stippled. We can bring in the tone to do that, but that's roughly, let's pop in the leaf here so that we can see that comes right out almost to the edge of the picture. So we can bring that curving in. Let's just see how big it is. That whole leaf is the same as the jug handle, so let's make it as big as that. Yeah, it is roughly as big as that across, coming right across, and then that leaf comes up and jars onto the next one. So let's just get these 1, 2, 3, this kind of leaves in so that we've got that lovely soft shape, and then we can put the rose in behind that and accentuate the leaves, the petals. So we can put those in more detail and look at the tone of those, but they're lovely against the navy blue. Pink is the navy blue of India, they say, and we can really accentuate that. Okay, so I think if you want to check it, go over each of the measurements again just before you start, and I think I'm quite ready to paint. Okay.